It just doesn't get any more interesting than this. You say it all the time in this series. You can never write the script. And with just 6 rounds to go, not a traditional finale in week 12. No, we're going all the way to week 13 and a little bit earlier than normally scheduled. We're here on iRacing Live and brought to you by Apex Racing TV. We're at Donington Park for rounds 31 to 33 of this, the BSR World Series right now. Jake Sparey here with Connery Maddick in the commentary box. Let's get the standings up on screen. Your championship is 11 points the margin. Melro on 922. Julian Janowski on 911. And Connery, Rusty Walsh on 886 after a poor showing at Summit Point.
Yes, and he has to pull out all the stops now to get back into a championship winning position. Your 4th place runner currently is Sven Glatzel. He is a little bit too far off in terms of points to be able to be challenging for this championship win. He has to pull up all the steps as well. But look at that team's championship, Jake. What do you see?
Well, what do you see? The points gap is a solitary 1 as things stand. The Souls have the advantage right now, but this will do are hot on the heels, and that can't get any closer coming into these last 6 races. You also got to look at that Cesare Rizzo Cup. That's not decided. Walsh has that advantage by about 75 points over Sven Glatzel of the Deutschland team. Qualifying underway at the moment as things stand. 10 minutes to qualify. We've got about 5 of them left here, Connery. Janowski, though, is doing exactly what he needs to do, currently on pole position.
Yes, and he's coming to... Actually, he has passed the line on... No, he has not. He's coming through the last chicane, and let's see if he can actually improve on this lap time. He gets a little bit wide coming out there, and he just dives down into pit lane. A couple of your drivers doing that. Adam Hadfield also still doing that. Kip Stevens coming in as well.
Yeah, a lot of people trying to get down onto pit lane right now to make sure that they can get those fresh tyres to go out again and set some more blisteringly quick lap times here around this Donington Park. We're not running the full layout. Of course, you saw that final chicane being used for that national layout, what you normally see in the British touring cars. On board then with the 36 of Diogo Melro down the Craner curves as he heads to the old hairpin. He's hard over to the left-hand side before he just turns it in right. And for the moment, 130 kilometers now, tries to get himself back up onto the power. It looks quite slow, actually, from this sort of angle here that we've got here, Connery. So at the moment, Melro may be waiting to go on a new lap. Rusty Walsh here at the moment, trying to power it through into number 34. He's currently down in P11, and that is not where he wants to be.
No, not where he wants to be as he comes down into the braking zone of the final chicane here, turning right instead of turning left like you see in the British touring cars. And I think he'll also be coming down pit road this time by as well, so he'll get some full fresh tyres and go out again.
Yes, he certainly will, and I think Peter Van Gool will follow. Yes, he does. McNally still out on a lap. Currently, the last of the drivers setting times at the moment. He's 20th at the moment, and you see drivers who are serving penalties right now, likes of Jamie Hall, Lewis Bibby serving a penalty, Alex Everett serving a penalty, Scott Malcolm serving a penalty, so is Joel Martinson and Adam Barth as well. All of those drivers at the moment currently having to serve penalties. Nick Curry is off in the middle of the grass coming out of Hollywood right now as things stand right now, but Janowski's back out on circuit. Pole at the moment by 0.2 of a second from Adam Hadfield in second and Stuart McFadden there in third. Lot of traffic there in the middle of the road there to deal with for Janowski. Manages to find himself a way through outer Coppice, and now he comes to Goddard's, this final chicane, into the right. Try and hit the sausage curb to get yourself up in the air, a bit more traction into the left-handed part of it now, and he gets himself the drive to really push himself out of the corner. Julian Janowski then comes to the line, and he hasn't done a lap time then, so he's going on to set his lap, Connery.
Yes, he is, as he comes through Redgate Turn 1 here at Donington Park. Apex is very, very nicely, tracks out very, very nicely as well, and now it's downhill through Hollywood, through the Craner curves now, down towards the old hairpin. It's a very, very technical section. The balance in the car has to be exactly right for you to do this very, very quickly. Gets the back end out in the old hairpin, but survives it.
Yes, he does. Walsh has tow at the moment. Melro is the car ahead of him. For Julian Janowski, though, he's got to keep on the power. He's got to make sure he gets through. Up then he comes along through McLean's, the right-hander, up the hill, blind. Runs the curb nicely then as he comes towards Coppice corner then. Penultimate corner on circuit, into the right. You're always trying to put the power on as early as you can, but the corner won't let you. Has to wait and wait before you get yourself onto the power now, down this back straightaway, heading towards the final chicane of Goddard's then, into the right, into the left. We'll see what time he can do at the moment. He has been beaten. McFadden has gone quickest on a 1:08.420 right now. That will hurt Janoski as he tries to go that little bit quicker. Can he go a bit quicker? 1:08.5. No, not for the moment. Eyes on Walsh and Melrose then, Connery, here with just 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, Melrose is just coming through. I believe that is Coppice Corner right now. He is on a lap, in fact, as he passes some lap traffic. That is Adam McNally on an out lap, we suspect, down into the heavy braking zone of this final chicane. Again, hitting that sausage curb on the inside. Make sure you get a good exit before the run to the line. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, we're going to see what Walsh can do as well. He's currently down on the 7th row, nowhere in terms of time. He does a 1:08.5. He gets himself up onto the 3rd row there, and you look at Melrose's time, didn't set one. So now, timer ticking away. They will both get over the line with one more lap to go after this. So that is something to keep an eye on right now. One car in pit road right now is Gareth Hickling. His day is all but done, and so is Cesare Rizzo's. He can't do any more than he is doing right now. His qualifying is pretty much signed, sealed, delivered, and sorted right now. Lorne Murray then in that number 23 Create Scotland car, 16th at the moment here on a 1:09.2, heads himself down into the chicane, into the right, into the left, gets himself back on the power. Day is done. He heads down pit road. He can't do much. Hadfield is backing himself up right now, and you can see almost pushing through Diogo Maro through the corner. There is Rusty Walsh there, Connery, with just 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, on the last lap, Diogo Mero, I believe, got a 1x, which made his lap null and void into the heavy braking zone right now. Let's see what Diogo Mero can do, and more importantly, what Adam Walsh can do. Can Walsh get in and around Janowski and McFadden? The two Thistle cars just come across the line.
You can see Walsh has gone a little bit slower there. Melrose not set a lap. Janowski's back on pole, 1:08.3. He's done the lap he needed to do. Qualifying is over. Last laps then. Last chance saloon comes across. Plumley will come across the line. He tries to find something. Laidler then down in 10th right now. Needs points for the constructors. Does himself a 1:09.1. That's not good enough. You keep looking back. McFadden's gone straight on. He's bottled it. Janowski's got traffic though into the final corner of Swaby then, and he can't do anything about it then. Tries to push him through. His lap time's done. He can't go any quicker. Now we got to look back. Melrose and Walsh, they're tripping each other over then as they head into the right then of what is the old hairpin there, and Walsh has to say that's it. Walsh has to say it's done. I correct myself, it was McLean's. Into Coppice then goes Diogo Melro. Can he do anything a little bit more to get himself out of 8th position? He traditionally doesn't like this circuit. Needs to find something now. His championship hangs in the threads of Janowski, who's leading this one for the moment. He might need some help from other people through the final chicane then. Diogo Melro, a Portuguese man, pit lane. He can't do it. He absolutely cannot do it, and you can see here final cars will be coming to the line, and that includes Stephen Minton. Qualifying, well, qualifying looks a little bit like this. It will be Julian Janowski on pole position, 1:08.352. He's joined on the front row by Stuart McFadden, with Rusty Walsh, championship contender, there in 3rd. Paul Smith qualifies 4th with Adam Hadfield 5th, Sven Glatzel there in 6th position, and then you've got Kip Stevens there in 7th, joined alongside by Diogo Melro. Robert Plumley will start from 9th with Russell Laidler rounding out the top 10, and Max Wright is there in 11th with Craig McLeod-Evans 12th on his return. Stephen Baxter will be there on row 7, joined with Peter Van Gool, with row 8 being Adam McNally and Lorne Murray. Row 9 is Stephen Minton and Lyndon Swaby. Row 10 is Gordon Anderson, the Thistledew driver, with Gareth Hickling alongside. And then you look for Jason Greenfield, last of the cars who set a time, and drivers that failed to set a time, the likes of Roy Viveka, Alex Everett, Scott Malcolm, Jamie Hall, Adam Buff, Nick Curry, Cesare Rizzo, Joel Martinson, and Lewis Bibby as well. 2 minutes to grid up then, Connery, and around this circuit, turn 1, you know, the inside's going to be there for Julian Janowski, but everyone's going to be trying to find a way around down at the Craner curves, and more often than not, we do see a car off at the Craners.
Yes, indeed we do, and I wouldn't actually want to be Diogo Melro right now. He's back in the bottom end of the top 10. He'll have some traffic in front of him if he'll have to get past to try and stem the bleeding in terms of points. Since if this isn't his best track, this is basically going to be damage control for him, and then look forward to Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona Road will be the home next week on iRacing Live and Apex Racing TV. The season finale on Saturday night. You cannot miss it. That will be 8:50 GMT as we start things earlier off right now here at what is this time right now 8:51 GMT as things stand. You can see drivers just waiting to get themselves back up and going here for the first race of the night. Just 6 races to go in what has been a turbulent season, which has seen changes like you have never imagined before in the pack, outside the pack, just everyone going for it hammer and tongs right now with just 30 seconds, even less than that, 20 seconds to grid up right now. Of course, it's 15 minutes for the racing action. It's 2 reverse grids for races 2 and 3, and you also have to think that there is a lot riding on Lady Luck for the reverse of the grids, and a lot riding on everyone trying to do a little bit more. You can hear engines getting a little bit impatient right now. 2 minutes is up. Engine notes then. Let's hear them rise. Let's get ourselves underway at Donington Park. Shocker then from the front row from Stuart McFadden. Paul Smith will thread the needle here as Walsh there on the inside. Janoski's clean then into turn number 1, Redgate corner, but you can see 3 wide for second. Cold tyres playing a factor, and Walsh is there in second. You can see Melrose running a little bit wide on exit, so is McFadden, and you can see that's going to cost it with Russell Laidler then trying to get through down some crane curves, and to the old hairpin they'll come along. Hadfield trying around the outside, very squeaky then down on the brakes as they go in, but everything clean for the moment there, Connery.
Yeah, Adam Hadfield having a big moment coming down into the old hairpin, manages to recover that slide. Just looking back through the field, here comes Russell Laidler looking for a position on Kip Stevens on the run up to the McLean's corner. Will not go for it this time by, but the gap is there. Kip Stevens does leave the gap on the back of this train, though. There is Diogo Mero, one of your championship runners.
Yes, he is, and he has dropped a position off the start, but for Rusty Walsh then in second at the moment. He knows his title rival is up ahead of him. He knows he's got to get a result out of it and catch Janowski if he can. They're both breaking away from Paul Smith then, with Adam Hadfield 4th, Sven Glatzel there in 5th, and Stuart McFadden, who had a poor start, you could say, dropping back down to 6th. You got Melrose there in 9th position right now. He will relinquish the lead of the championship if he finishes there come the end of this race. 1 lap then, score complete as they head down to Redgate corner, Connery.
Yeah, everyone being very, very well behaved so far. They're all single file. I'm just trying to find any battling, but it doesn't not seem to be any happening. It's just bumper to bumper for now.
Yes, it is bumper to bumper at the moment. Diogo Mauro then coming down then these corners, looking to go into the right-hander. Won't happen for the moment. Adam Hadfield then looking to have a little bit of a scrap. Sven Glatzel there just behind him. McFadden waiting to try and find a way through on the first lap there, Connery. We did see Lewis Bibby then go straight on down at the crane curves at the back of the grid. Something else interesting to note, Roy Viveka started from pit lane.
Yes, indeed, he did, and I believe Lewis Bibby also had a back of the grid penalty as well, so his day hasn't been very, very good so far. As we see Stuart McFadden, he looks to the right-hand side of Sven Glatzel coming down this back straight. Sven Glatzel will give him a little bit of the squeeze coming down into the braking zone. Stuart McFadden will have to let Sven Glatzel go through in there. Sven Glatzel goes straight on at the chicane. That will also be a slowdown penalty as well.
Yes, it will, and that costs him points in his fight to try and get through. It does promote Diogo Mauro. That is going to help as Mauro looks to the outside then of Russell Laidler down towards turn number 1, Redgate corner. Tries to hold it around the outside, runs out of road and has to back out of it there as he just tries to wait to get that magic position to get himself up a little bit further. And it's mistakes like those that do cost championships in the long run. For Rusty Walsh there in second position, he is not gaining on Janowski. That gap is over 7/10 of a second right now here, Connery, and that's not what he wants at this situation.
Yep, Julian Janowski is indeed pulling that gap out, and that is what Julian Janowski needs to do to try and win this championship with only this race and 5 other races to go. Adam Walsh is currently being chased by Paul Smith right there. Paul Smith will have the draft, but I do not think he'll have an opportunity this lap.
No, I don't think he will, as they head themselves down onto the brakes into the Goddard chicane, and they come along for the 3rd time then in this race at the moment. No, not close enough right now. We'll have to wait. But look at this train starting to form now behind Diogo Mauro. Robert Plumley now trying to get into the action. Souls versus This'll Do all over the back bumper. Moves to the outside. You can see behind that Craig McLeod Evans. Max Wright is there. Baxter waiting in the wings along with Vangal as well. Into turn number 1, then Redgate corner, head to Hollywood, then this small kink right, and now down the Craner curve. And you can see just how much he was held up there was Plumley, and now the Imperial Iron Wall wants to try and find a way through there, Connery.
Yeah, Melrose not at all looking comfortable, and this is an important battle in terms of the points fight between Souls and Thistledew as well. Diogo Merrill in that Thistledew car ahead of the Souls car for the moment, but I think Robert Plumley will catch back up relatively quickly here as we just see Craig McLeod-Evans just have a little bit of a look coming into McLean's. He might have the position here.
I think he might into Coppice then. They'll come along the right-hander. On the brakes they go. Plumley tries to hold it around the outside. Can he hold the position then? It is going to be Create Scotland versus Souls, and they're going to remain side by side as they head for Goddard's chicane right now. And you can see Plumley's just got a much better run out to the corner, and you think McLeod-Evans is going to have to back out of it. He does, and that's going to mean that it's all going to stay as they are. But a big wiggle through the middle of the corner, and running wide there is McLeod-Evans. So certainly not over and done with yet, as they're going to be all over the back bumper there. McLeod-Evans heading towards Redgate corner. Will he send one down the inside? Answer is he's going to have a look at it, and he weaves a little bit, and he says no, can't do it at the moment as things stand. So for the moment there, Connery, you have to say, looking for the opportunities, they are very difficult around here.
Yeah, and we currently have a battle, some side-by-side action between Adam McNally and Stephen Baxter as they come into the Craner curves, down into the entry of the old hairpin. Adam McNally currently still in front, trying to defend that position. Behind them, you also have Gordon Ansem. He might have a look to make up a couple of more spots from his qualifying position. He already has. He will take it too wide with Stephen Baxter. He'll be on the inside for the McLean's corner, and he manages to get it.
Yeah, fantastic move around the outside as they headed towards McLean's. Turn to the inside, Baxter had nothing. Vangal in that one as well. He's dropped a lot of time. And then you look at the train there, Minton's there, Glatzel's in there, Scott Malcolm's in there trying to recover. And then you keep looking further and further back through your field right now. As far as retirements is, if I can't even get my words out, there's only one at the moment, and that's Jason Greenfield on pit road as things stands right now. Gap at the front, 0.8 of a second between Janowski and Walsh right now as things stand. But you got side by side Melrose down the inside of Laidler into turn number 1, and they're going to continue to go side by side as they head towards the Craner curves. But I think Rusty Laidler's going to have to back out of it.
Yeah, Russell Laidler, he also has his teammate in Robert Plumley right behind him, so no pressure from behind at all. We suspect there's, look at him, he's right on the back bumper coming through the old hairpin there. Melrose gets a little bit of a better exit. He pulls out the gout slightly, but I think this is going to be inevitable.
I think it is, and you can see he has the position sorted. Now the team's championship, Connery, as things stand, there's a 3-point gap between first and second. There's a 2-point gap between 8th and 7th as things stand. If things stay like this as they head to the next race, points for the team's championship, dead level.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic, and just shows the level of competition that we have here in the BSR Kia World Series. It is absolutely fantastic to see.
Yeah, it certainly is. Paul Smith all over the back then of Rusty Walsh as things stand into Redgate corner, and they'll come along for the 7th time, halfway coming along around about this lap. So you have to say, everyone now will be looking at their tyres. Will they start to go off a little bit more? Who is going to be the best running with the setup? Janowski's opened up a 1.1 second gap at the moment and doesn't have to do anything more. He is the master of winning race 1. He's got 7 race wins this season. This could be win number 8 and the one that takes him to the lead of the championship. If things stay like this at the moment, Paul Smith still can't quite get close enough. And that's the thing. You get close, but you can't get close enough. That's been the mantra of this circuit right now. Side by side, Lorne Murray and Scott Malcolm. And Malcolm will go around the outside, and Malcolm will take the position, Connery.
Yeah, Malcolm doing very, very well there. And look ahead of him, there's an absolute train of cars of about 5 cars, and that is behind Gordon Anderson right there. Adam McNally tucked right underneath that rear bumper coming out of Coppice corner down the back straight. Let's see if he can make a move down into the final chicane. He has a little bit of a look. He's looking for it. You just see him weaving out of line there, but settles in behind just for now as we see behind him. Oh, Stephen Baxter. Wow, that was a missing of a breaking point if I ever saw one.
Yeah, it certainly was there. Completely misjudged it. Actually, he tapped the car of Sven Glatzel. That's going to throw it 3 wide as they head to Redgate, possibly 2 wide. McNally trying to find a lane then, and it's Glatzel who'll hold it down into the corner. Side by side, they're going to remain as things stand, with McNally trying to force him off, and Scott Malcolm has to take to the grass, avoiding action there, and he'll lose all momentum as they head towards the old hairpin, down the crane occurs, and Stephen Minton's going to back out of that one. So everything kicking off in the mid-pack right now, and as far as things stand at the front, you look at this, Layla then is going to have to let the position go, as you can actually see Kip Stevens and Melrose side by side, round the outside he tries to go, and then he's got Coppis to go as well. On the brakes they're going to go, and Melrose going to continue round the outside. What a move from the Portuguese man. He still hasn't quite got it sorted, now he does.
Wow, that is an absolutely fantastic move. One of the moves of the season. Let's see if Kip Stevens can reply on the braking zone down into the final chicane.
As well. Walsh has run wide as well. You have to look at that one as well. That's the battle for second. Moves across his line. Paul Smith now cuts to the inside line into Redgate corner, and I think he's got the inside, but can he carry enough momentum? You could say at the moment no. All kicking off now, side by side as they head down the Craner curves, and you can see giving themselves not an inch, not 1 iota. Down on the brakes for the old hairpin, inside for Paul Smith. He'll take the position for the moment. Switch back up and under. Paul Smith runs wide, and now Adam Hadfield wants a piece of the action, Connery.
Yeah, Paul Smith losing out there with a little bit of contact with Adam Walsh's car. Here comes Adam Hadfield on the inside in McLean's corner, and they make contact. Adam Hadfield gets a massive slide, manages to recover. Somehow, Paul Smith will gain the position on him, but Julian Janowski is looking in his mirrors and laughing right now.
Yes, he certainly is at the moment, and Diogo Maurer, as things stand, he's now up into 6th position, side by side. You got Stuart McFadden now having a look on Adam Hadfield, and Hadfield, he was trying to be opportunistic. He had a little bit of a nose, but not enough to make the move, and that was the big problem. On the brakes into Goddard, and they're all going to stay line astern just for the time being. Behind that, though, the Melrose train in full effect right now as Robert Plumley gets a storming run on Kip Stevens then, as they come out to the final corner, and Plumley moves up a position. Layla's got nothing at the moment to catch, and actually he does. You can see just how much no speed he's got, and you can see slowdown penalty for Kip Stevens possibly, as he drops a multitude of positions there, Connery.
Yeah, that does look like a slowdown penalty. He might have just cut the final chicane a little bit too much, yes, on the first part, so that was where the slowdown penalty came from.
Yeah, it certainly was, and now timer is ticking away even more. We are inside 5 minutes to go, inside 4 minutes to go right now, and you can see Adam Hadfield runs incredibly wide at McLean's, and that's going to be a gift for Stuart McFadden, who's recovering from an abysmal start then in that opening race of this evening right now. 3 races, of course, 15 minutes, 2 reverse grids to be had. Janowski will start at the back of said reverse grid, but now Diogo Mauer's got to try and break away here at the moment. You look, he's got a 109 flat. You look at the leaders at the front of your field, a 108.7 from Julian Janowski, 3/10 the difference, but you can see just how tight this field gets and just how spread out it will get over the course of a race right now. You can see some side-by-side action going on. McNally holds off Lorne Murray.
Yes, indeed he does, as they come through the final chicane right there down onto the pit straight. We will only be having a couple of laps to go. We have 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Janowski is still out front. I do not think Adam Walsh will be able to catch up to him.
No, I don't think he will either. It might have to come down to a very uncharacteristic mistake from the calm Bulgarian right now, but you have to say it has been some sensational action in this opening race. This second group is starting to splinter out a little bit. You're not really seeing the battles that happen. Adam Barth, Apex Racing's own, looking all over the back of Stephen Minton then, and behind him you got the likes of Stephen Baxter and Jamie Hall in the 420 machine as well. On the brakes into the right hander, they're going to come along, and you can see Hall running wide, can't do anything at the moment. Baxter now all over the back of Barth as they head to Coppis corner then. They come along, and for the moment, all's line astern.
Yes, indeed it is. And remember, these are for positions just in the bottom end of your top 20, yet they're still fighting hammer and tongs for it, which is absolutely great to see. Will anyone make a move coming down into the final chicane? No, not this time.
No, not this time, not just yet. And you can see they're all just waiting and biding their time here. Adam Barth side by side. Baxter then looking to try and go around the outside at Redgate corner. Remember, Baxter started in 13th. He's dropped 7 positions. You look at Adam Barth. He started 26th. 26th position even, if I can get my words out, and is now up to 19th. Holds the line as they head through the crane of curves at the moment here. Down at the back, and you can see Alex Everett struggling with connection issues. He struggles. He has a technical fault. His day is pretty much all but over then, as they now look to head further up through the field right now. You can see there's still some battling going on. Robert Plumley now on the back of Diogo Mauro, but runs wide at Coppit, and that's pretty much going to say, or game over maybe, for what is Robert Plumley. He was close. He was looking at that Constructors, but at the moment, it still remains. It will be even on points if things stay like this.
Yes, it will as they come through the final chicane. I believe we're very, very close to either getting the white flag or being the end of the race right here, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. We see Paul Smith. He is actually caught right up to the back of Adam Walsh there. Adam Walsh getting a much better run coming out of Redgate, manages to stretch the gap out as they come through the crane of curves.
Yeah, I believe we're going to have one more lap. I believe we'll have one of these rare circumstances where we'll have something like 14 minutes and 58 seconds on the clock. Paul Smith then, he's losing that little bit more of time. You got McFadden then, just behind, who's waiting in the wings, sniffing for the podium, and has been so good this season. One of the brightest stars that has been produced out of this World Series. You can see Walsh an even brighter star at the moment. Looking at that championship, third place, he's going to lose points to Janowski, but crucially he'll gain points on his teammate Melro, who only lies in 6th position right now. It's all going to be incredibly tight, but one man walking away at the moment is Julian Janowski. We're just going to check the timer to see if it's going to be the final lap of this race now or it's finished now, and you have to say one more lap to go. 14 minutes. 58 seconds on the clock then. Chance to go, and Paul Smith's made a mistake. He's dropped the position, and you know it was always going to happen maybe, but you can see it's down to the slowdown at the very dying moments then of this race, and now he's got Hadfield over the back of him. Melro has Plumley behind him, but not quite close enough at the moment. Eyes will have to be kept in 18,000 different directions right now as Julian Janowski just calmly drives himself up through under Starkey's Bridge. Now looking at McLean's then into the left that just comes before the right and just has a few more corners to go. Does the #1 reigning champion right now. Walsh just behind him has everything all calm and collected under control. So does Diogo Mauro there in 6th position right now. But with just a handful of corners to go, namely this Goddard chicane, it will be race win number 8 of the season for Julian Janowski as he rounds the final 2 corners and says, I want this championship more than anyone else. He bottled it at Watkins Glen, and he did everything he needed to do to recover points at Summit Point, but at Donington Park, he's a race winner again. And then you got Walsh in 2nd, 3rd for McFadden, a great recovery, and then you got Smith in 4th, Hadfield 5th there, Connery.
Yeah, as we see a battle between Sven Glatzel and I believe Gordon Anderson, and Gordon Anderson lost that position on the final corner of the motor race to Sven Glatzel. Sven Glatzel picks up another couple of points which could be important in the race for the Ches Rizzo Cup.
Oh, did you see that? Scott Malcolm and Stephen Minton, they crossed the line on the grass. They get into each other. You've got to get a replay of this. Minton runs wide. He runs into Scott Malcolm. Both of them then go across the grass. Even Minton taps the wall as they come across the line. That is what racing's all about. And Scott Malcolm would pip that one out by just 0.5 of a second. Unbelievable results. Let's put them up on your screen. This is how everything has finished today. Julian Janowski then wins by 2 seconds in this opening race of the evening from Rusty Walsh there in 2nd and Stuart McFadden in 3rd. Paul Smith will come home in 4th position with Adam Hadfield 5th. Diogo Melro there in 6th position, trying to make the best out of a bad situation with Robert Plumley 7th and Russell Laidler 8th. Craig McLeod-Evans will come home in 9th position with Kip Stevens rounding out the top 10. Then you got Sven Glatzel there in 11th after his slowdown penalty. Gordon Anderson having to serve one on the final lap in 12th with Peter Van Gool 13th and Adam McNally 14th. And then you look further down with the likes of Lewis Bibby there, Scott Malcolm and Stephen Minton coming side by side over the line on the grass. Then you got Adam Barth then, who's come home in what is eventually 20th position, a good recovery drive from him. And then you got the likes of drivers who have failed to finish, likes of Alex Everett, Nick Curry and Jason Greenfield. Well, as it is pretty much anonymously traditional here in the World Series right now, we are going to try and grab a very quick driver interview with someone right now. I'm going to drag in Stuart McFadden, who's managed to finish in 3rd position overall this evening. He's done a very good job of things as things stand right now. And well, it's in the commentary box here. Stuart, 3rd place for you then after what was a race where you had probably a very horrible start to begin with. Just talk us through the opening laps.
Yeah, it was a kind of hectic first lap. I had a really bad start, lots of wheel spin, but gladfully so I kind of kept my nose clean and managed to fight my way back to 3rd.
Yeah, you certainly did, and especially through the mid part of this race, you were certainly seeing places where people were making mistakes. Adam Hadfield going sideways through McLain's, had the likes of Paul Smith getting that slowdown penalty, also Sven Glatzel as well. So for you, it wasn't a case of, say, making that overtake, it was a case of waiting for the mistake to happen.
Yeah, that's what I said to myself midway through the race. Just if I keep my nose clean and just kind of the race will make up to me with people trying too hard, trying to make up positions, and I kind of done that. So I'm kind of glad with 3rd. Really pleased.
Well, of course, the reverse grids will be coming out in force next right now, and you have to say for you, maybe with the poor start that you had, maybe you're looking for something a little bit better. Maybe a smaller reverse grid's going to keep you in that fight, in that position for maybe some big points and looking to try and fight back in the Cesare Rizzo Cup, for example?
Yeah, I mean a small reverse grid would be perfect for me, and I'm trying to fight for the Cesare Rizzo Cup, so the amount of points I can get over Rusty and Sven is great, so hopefully for a small reverse grid.
Hoping for a small reverse grid. Samuli, you're standing by with the spinny wheel. We're going to spin this right now, and we're going to see what the result is going to be. Let's spin that wheel. "28 is the reverse grid, but only 27 finishers on the leading 2 laps. So it's going to be a start from 25th for you, Stuart, and it will be Joel Martinson on pole position. How are you feeling after that?
A bit disappointing, but we'll just have to kind of fight through. Just have to kind of fight through the pack and try and get as many points as we can.
Fight through the pack he will have to do. We are going to take, though, a very short break. When we come back, round 32 of your World Series will be here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live after these few messages. Don't go away.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your BSR World Series, streaming live on iRacing Live and brought to you by Apex Racing TV. Jake Sparey joined alongside by Connery Maddick here inside the commentary box. We're at Donington Park, and now there's only 5 races to go, as there were at the start of this night. 6 races to go at the moment. So now you look at everything that's going on. You look at the championship. Drivers' Championship, 1 point between Janowski and Melrose. Teams' Championship, 2 points between Souls and Thistledew. That's how close things get. But there's a reason why this is the BSR World Series. There's a reason why this is the BSR MSA World Series. We're officially recognised by the British Motorsport Association. You run their rules, you have a good time, you create great racing like we've been seeing tonight. And of course, this is the only feeder series that goes into the BSR Pro Series that will kick itself back off again on a Thursday, I should say, back in March. But when that is away, they're going to be playing with MX-5s in the Winter Series, and we're going to be, when it comes down to the next season, the only Kias on the block. You can join us on Facebook for what is £3 per race meeting, £15 for a season as a team driver, and £20 overall as an independent. Now, if you're brand new to iRacing and you're seeing this for the very first time, thinking, you know what, I'll give this a crack as well. You can get 3 months for the price of 1 off of your subscription with the promotional code PR-BSRTC, and you can also get €30 off of any JCL sim racing products with the promotional code 5VATA1KA. Now, Connery, that championship, well, in fact, both championships have tightened up considerably, and with this reverse grid being so large, a 27-car reverse grid, it means that they're fighting from pretty much as far back as they possibly can. There is no more that can be done between these guys. They all need to be working at their very, very hardest.
Yes, they will, and it will be a mountain to climb for Janowski and Adam Walsh in this very, very big reverse grid. Perhaps it was the maximum that we could have had with the finishes that we had in that particular race. So they'll have a lot of traffic to work through for this one.
Yeah, they certainly will have a lot of traffic to work through in race 2. Traditionally, it's the race where more incidents come out of the hat. There's more to fight for. The quick guys, they try and pass the slow guys. The slow guys try to defend from the quick guys, and it leads into this hodgepodge accordion effect, the concertina, you could say, where it all just starts to happen and crashes become more frequent, Connery.
Yes, they will, and a track like this where it is relatively difficult to pass, and it can cause some very, very sticky situations indeed, as we're just a couple of minutes away from the race start.
Yeah, we are under 2 minutes away from gridding up, and actually I want to talk about Rusty Walsh if I can, just for a moment here. His first race, not the most brilliant, as he leads a train of 7 right now. Yeah, he leads a train of 7 here in practice as he heads to Copper's Corner, but, you know, he's got to try and find some more points on pretty much both his rivals. Melrose starts ahead of him, hasn't really liked the circuit. Janowski starts behind him, which is okay for the moment. But, you know, he's got to do something where he wins by a considerable 5-10 point margin if he really wants to challenge for this title come Daytona.
Yes, he does, and I think he just has to hope that Janowski has some major trouble with traffic, since we saw in that race when he doesn't quite have the pace there to try and catch up to the back of Janowski and overtake him. So he has to hope that either Janowski has some trouble with that traffic, or he is just better overall through that traffic.
Yeah, that might be the key come the end of this race. Remember, if you fall over 2 laps down in this, you score no points. That's something very, very crucial. There's no half points here. It's either you get some or you get none here, and that could be the factor that decides a win or a loss overall in this championship. You have to remember, Janowski now has 8 race wins to his name. You look at the likes of Rusty Walsh, he's got 4, and Diogo Melrose only got 3. 1 point splits them at the top of this, and with 5 races to go, everything is eyeing up for a Week 13 finale at Daytona Road. You cannot afford to miss a race like that. It will be the prime spectacle of Week 13 racing, as it has been on the iRacing service for the past season and the other season before that as well. But practice, you could say, is over and done with. Your grid in about 30 seconds will look like this. Well, on pole position, it will be Joel Martinson. He's joined alongside by Gareth Hickling of the Souls team. Roy Vervaker there in third, with Cesare Rizzo fourth. Then you got the likes of Lyndon Swaby, Jamie Hall, Stephen Baxter there in 7th, Adam Barth in 8th, Stephen Minton 9th with Scott Malcolm rounding out the top 10. Then you got the likes of Bibby and Murray Wright and McNally, Van Goolen, Anderson, Glatzel and Stevens, McLeod Evans and Laidler, Plumley and Melrose, Hadfield and Smith, Stuart McFadden, Rusty Walsh, Julian Janowski, Alex Everett and Jason Greenfield. We have lost ourselves a driver. That driver is Nick Curry, and that will mean we're only having a 29 car grid then for what is this second race of the evening. 1 minute to get yourself gridded up, and at the back of the grid you can see Julian Janowski there, you can see Rusty Walsh is there also, and you can also see Diogo Melro a few rows ahead of that. He's got 2 Souls cars to get through though very early on. They could start playing a bit of dividends later on, but you have to be careful on brakes around here, especially when you've got incredibly cold tyres. It's so easy in the opening laps to get yourself into a little bit of trouble, but engine notes, let's hear them go up in the air. Let's go green, green, green. Let's go racing, boys. And you can see a good start by Masterson at the front of the field. Hickling will look to go side by side though as they head to Redgate Corner, turn number 1. You can see behind that Roy Vervaker under threat in, and Hickling trying to cut the corner, but he doesn't quite cut everything out. That's going to mean he's going to have to join on circuit. It's all going to come together. Walsh is going to try and get himself through a few positions, and there is contact. There is a car on the grass down towards Craners, and it is one of the, I believe, Bermuda cars there. That's Stephen Minton, the only one in there. And for the moment, Roy Vervaker, I believe, has gone a little bit wider. No, that's John Martinson. So the racing already incredibly tight and close. Vervaker leads, Bath in second.
Yes, an absolutely fantastic start to the race between Jamie Hall and Stephen Baxter. Stephen Baxter gets a little bit of a slide, just helped by Jamie Hall. Jamie Hall will go through and take that position, but what a start from Jamie Hall. He started in 6th place, he's up to 3rd.
Yes, he is, and Julian Janowski here is going to try and go around his rival Alex Everett. There has been a car, though, in the wall. That is Gordon Anderson of the Thistledew team, so that one hasn't really worked out. And you can see Diogo Mauro, a little bit of contact there as he tries to serve a slowdown penalty. That's going to hurt, but Janowski's done all he needed to do here in this race. You got to look at Diogo Mauro. He's lost a lot of time, and you look at Julian Janowski. He is charging through this field right now, and Laidler's going to come in and serve slowdown, and you can see he has got himself up already to 15th position.
Yeah, an absolutely brilliant start to the race for Julian Janowski, just scything his way through the field. Up next is his teammate of Robert Plumley. I don't think Plumley will give him too much of an issue getting past. Having a look towards the front of your field, it's still Roy Vervaker currently leading this race, with Adam Barth following close behind. Jamie Hall is still there. They have battling though between Stephen Baxter and Gareth Hickling.
As they head to McLean's then, small kink left, the right-hander favours the driver of Gareth Hickling, and you know what? He'll take the position, a very wide line taken then by Stephen Baxter, and you can see now, side by side they're going to go as they head to Coppice here, and that's his own teammate Lewis Bibby trying to go down the inside. You can see that train that's forming. Hickling runs wide, and now they're going to all try and thread the needle here. 2 wide they're going to go, maybe 3, trying to go to the grass, round the outside. Oh, that's brave. That's incredibly brave, and I think he might have just got it sorted. On the brakes he goes, no, he got a slide. What a drift. What a move! Oh my goodness gracious me, Lewis Bibby, pass of the season, you betcha!
Absolute, that I have never seen anything like that. What a superb piece of driving from Lewis Bibby right there. He looked like he had lost it, but no, he had recovered it and gains those 2 positions. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh my god, there's contact, and that's Cesare Rizzo and Gareth Hickling. Hickling's gone skyward, and he's gone out to this one, back to pit road. Janowski is making strides, and now he's coming up on this group. Now he's got to be careful, because if he siphones through this very, very cleanly and quickly, he won't have any problems. You can see there, that's Robert Plumley getting out of the way for his teammate. But look at this train, they're battling so hard. Scott Malcolm now going side by side to McLean's with Max Wright. He holds the position for the moment, but if he gets hot and bothered there, does Janowski, he might get a little bit under the collar, and that might cause mistakes, Connery.
Yes, it will, and so he has to be very, very careful as they all check up a little bit of a concertina effect coming through Coppice Corner on the run down towards the final chicane on this back straight right now. Janowski just has to be patient right here. He's in a pretty good position in terms of points, so he doesn't have to take many unnecessary risks. There's some contact ahead of him with Stuart McFadden and Adam McNally.
Yeah, and they're going to keep going on with it at the moment. McFadden holds position for the time being at the front of your field, though. You have to look on a little bit because Roy Vervaeke is under threat. 0.3 of a second then. 3.5 when they came across the line. Adam Barth waiting in the wings there in second position right now, looking for his first ever win in the World Series in just his 5th start overall. Gets a major run coming out of the old hairpin. Will look at potentially the inside. No, he's got to do it the long way around at McClays. Looks for the gap, a little bit of tyres on the grass, and you can see he pinches him down to the curb, looking to get a cutback. And look at that, Adam Barth, bit of contact then with Roy Vervaeke, but to the race lead goes the Apex Racing TV commentator.
Yeah, that was just a textbook switchback pass as we see Roy Vervaeke. He will try on the inside coming out of the exit of Coppice Corner. He will only just make it too wide coming down the back straight. Will he shove his nose in there at the chicane? No, he will not, and prefers just to fall behind. But look who's this. This has brought back into contention. Jamie Hall is right there. Maybe he can have something to say about this race battle.
Certainly will. Janowski's looking at McNally and he can't find a way through. Tries to get it on exit. They get close. He blocks the run. So for the moment, that stays line astern for the moment. You have to look, though, further down the field to see where everyone else is. Gordon Anson has lost a lot of time. And even further back from that, there's Diogo Mauro. And Rusty Walsh is a mile away. So he's down in 26th position. That one is certainly not going to help. For the moment, as things stand, you can see McNally's lost the position. Janowski is through down at what was turn 1 Redgate corner for the moment, but Vervaeke's back through for the race lead.
Yeah, as we just see some battling between Adam McNally and Alex Everett there. I believe Adam McNally did manage to defend the position right there. We also have to remember that Julian Janowski is in this pack. Yeah, he is right there behind Stuart McFadden, and Stuart McFadden definitely won't make it easy for Janowski.
No, he certainly won't. Hark back to Zandvoort, the second weekend of this season, and they had a battle for the race lead, which ended in disaster for both of them. It's a traditional fact that Julian Janowski and Create Scotland cars, they don't really mix, and it normally ends in contact. McFadden holds that one out for the time being, but we're going to look forward here in your field as we're side by side for the race lead. Adam Barth around the outside, looking to try and take it on Vervaeke, who's trying to open the floodgates and get a second race win in 2 race weekends, and for the moment holds the position as we're heading towards halfway.
Yeah, that would be a great result for him if he can get it. Here comes Adam Barth down towards the inside at the old hairpin though. Oh, he's going to track out. Only just leaves Roy Vervaeke enough space right there. Here comes Jamie Hall also looking for the position on Roy Vervaeke. This is going to be a 3-way fight for your race lead as they come up towards McLean's. There's Jamie Hall, that Welshman, on the inside, and he will gain the position. Maybe he'll be a little bit more greedy as well and look for the position on Adam Barth for the race lead. Here comes Roy Vervaeke again, coming down towards the inside in Coppice Corner. Slight bit of contact. Here comes the England driver of Lewis Bibby trying around the outside, but he has to fall behind for now.
They were 2 seconds back at the start of the lap. Now it's a train of 5 as Stephen Baxter will also follow. This will help England's cause in the team's championship right now. Not for the race win, but not for anything else either. McFadden's lost the position to Janowski. He's now up into 10th position now from starting 27th. His rivals have been fostering contact though. Vervaeke is turned around by Baxter on the front straightaway, and any chance of a race win is now dashed. As another position for Janowski to take right now. You can see running wide there is that driver of what is Stephen Baxter. He's going to lose a lot of positions right now, but at the front it means Adam Barth is clear, and he's clear by 9/10 of a second here, Connery.
Yeah, and that incident was just caused by Stephen Baxter just merging to rejoin on the track after having a little bit of an off coming out the final corner. To be fair to Roy Vervaeke, he did leave enough space for Stephen Baxter to come back on the track, but Stephen Baxter took a little bit too much room.
Talk about the championship. The stars are aligning here for Julian Janowski. His nearest championship rival is Diogo Mauro, who is down in 21st position right now, stuck behind the Jason Plato of the World Series in the form of Kip Stevens. He can't find a way through. That is going to be incredibly costly come the end. Janowski looking at the inside of Max Wright, trying to extend his championship lead as things stand. Down onto the brakes they go, into Goddard's, and nope, gonna have to stay behind for the time being, get that run out of the exit. He does, but you can see there's no room to really execute it. Into the pits then comes the driver of Baxter, is that? I believe it is. Yes, it is Stephen Baxter coming down to pit lane. He has damage, and you can see everything now trying to go side by side. They're going to go, and you can see Janowski makes it comfortably around the outside of Max Wright, so he moves himself now up into 6th, well, 7th position right now, Connery. This is a great drive.
Yeah, Julian Janowski doing all that he needs to do right here, just scything his way through the field. That was a very, very close pass on Max Wright. There's like a millimeter between Max Wright's front bumper and Janowski's rear bumper as he also lines up the pass on Peter Van Gool. No, he checks up in the middle of the corner.
Yeah, we got side by side for the lead as well, though, and Adam Barth and Lewis Bibby were looking to go at it, hammer and tongs, and down into Coppice, you can see Bibby trying to go and get the cutback. He will get the cutback. Lewis Bibby then to the front of your field. He takes the race lead. Jamie Hall certainly not out of it, and Bibby's got to run now. Bibby's got to try and find a way to get away, and for the moment, he has the advantage at the moment. Barth coming in, there's a little bit of contact, and you can see a push to pass. Side by side, let's go. Down the front straight away, Connery. More contact between the two. 3 types of contact, and he's still going on the grass. 3 wide.
Yeah, we're gonna almost go 3 wide for the race lead right there. Jamie Hall just hunting and stalking these front two as they fight right there. They had some door-to-door action coming down the pit straight. Yet more door-to-door action coming on the exit of Redgate. They're still going 2 wide, Jake.
Yes, they are, and Janowski is also side by side with Peter Van Gool down the Craner curves. Bibby will take the race lead then as things stand. For Janowski, though, he's got the inside, but the outside then for this, the old hairpin. He has the position, though. Janowski up into 6th position and just streaking further and further away. Barth looking to come back, though. Can't do it, then has to back out of it for the moment. And with just 5 minutes to go, it's all kicking off. Scott Malcolm now getting onto the back of this group. Lord Murray getting onto the back of this group. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination.
It is not over, and we'll be looking to see a 5-car battle for your race win. If these cars can close up towards the end of this race, we only have about 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this race as they break down into Goddard's, the final chicane here at Donington Park. No changes in position just yet, though.
Yeah, and you've also got to look at that car in 6th position right now of Julian Janowski. If he catches this group, then you know that there are serious points up for grabs, up for offer right now. You look at this leading trainer 5 that goes on. Lewis Bibby in the right position as things stand. Diogo Melro is down in 17th position at the moment. Rusty Walsh, he's down in 22nd. Both of them, their championships are fading from their grasp. The team's championship now will fade on an abysmal performance for the Thistledew team. But for the moment, we focus on this. Jamie Hall looking all over the back then of Adam Barth here for the battle for 2nd as things stand. Lewis Bibby trying to break away at the moment, and he can control the race from here. And for the moment, Barth waiting, not close enough to Lewis Bibby, but Jamie Hall is still there stalking him in the clutches of his very grasp here, Connery.
Yes, he is, and he will have the draft coming down, the double draft coming down the back straight right here. Don't forget, you've also got Scott Malkin and Lorne Murray right behind these leading trio. Is very, very, very deep on the brakes goes Jamie Hall. Has to miss the first apex of the chicane and loses 2 positions right there. He cannot afford to do that this late on.
No, he can't, and he's looking for his first race win as well, and that's not going to happen if you do it like that. And we got 3 minutes to go then as they head into turn 1 of Redgate Corner right now. Lewis Bibby here at the front of the field at 10.1, his last lap time. You got to look at Janowski though, because he is closing. He did a 109.5, and now he's looking at the top 5 thinking, you know what, this is very tasty. Doesn't have to make the move. He doesn't have to do it. He can Alain Prost his way through this and say, I can play the percentage game and take the points I want, come what I may. But you know, the prospect of the podium is certainly looming in the grasp of the Bulgarian's hands. Murray then 4th at the moment, looking to try and make a move on his compatriot Scott Malcolm. Janowski is closed here, Connery, and now the tide is turning in the championship battle.
Yeah, look, things are looking very, very good indeed for Julian Janowski. He will want to try and maximize his point score here, but he cannot afford to be too greedy, so we might just see him sit behind here and just get a very well-deserved 6th place finish.
Maybe he will, but I don't think he's the sort of character who likes to just wait on it here. You can see, tries to maximise that run off the exit. It's not going to work. Double toe there. Murray under threat. Then you got Jamie Hall who will be looking to go to the inside and try and blockade the circuit. Will he send one down the inside? No, he won't. Janowski waiting in the wings, and you can see Lewis Bibby's opened up 0.8 of a second now here to Adam Bath in the very late stages of this race. Just 2 laps to go potentially in this one. Yes, I do believe it will be here as you look at Janowski then looking at the old hairpin. Still not quite close enough.
Not quite close enough, but he is hunting and searching for this extra position, and that just means extra points and extra points in that points gap to his championship rivals as he takes a very, very wide entry for McLean's corner, trying to get the best exit he can. He's coming up to the corner where the exit is the most important, and this is Coppice corner since it backs onto that very long back straight. He's tucked right underneath the rear wing of Jamie Hall right there, but oh, he pushes a little bit wide.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with something like that. Timer, no, ticking away. He doesn't have long if he wants to take that position. And the race is looking more and more Lewis Bibby's. Bath will have to try everything to get himself back in the battle for the podium. He gets a great run off the exit, though, to Janowski. Here's the enter. The final lap of this motor race. Side by side will go to Redgate Corner. And Janowski looking at the top 5 from 27th on the grid. He'll go around the outside of Jamie Hall. And Hall's going to leave him a little bit of space. If that, as now they head towards the Craner curves, the rights they go along, and Janowski will tuck back in line. He'll wait on it. He doesn't have to make this move, and he'll wait on this move because he doesn't have to do it down into the old hairpin. He'll stay behind. Malcolm holds this one off for the moment. I don't think Adam Bath is quite close enough. We'll rely on a mistake from Lewis Bibby then, who has just been all brilliant from 11th on the grid, and he's done arguably the greatest overtake of the season, if not any season of racing right now. You put that one in the history books as one of the all-time great moves. With just 2 corners to go though, Bibby holds it for the moment. Will Janowski get a top 5 out of this? That's another question to be asking. You look at the likes of Murray and Malcolm, who have done a great job. Malcolm at the moment on the podium. Bibby's unchallenged into Goddard's chicane, and Lewis Bibby will come across the line, a race winner here in the World Series. Round 32 goes to him, and oh, they're side by side over the line almost. Janowski was on the grass, and somehow he keeps it out of any barrier, and that was a rare close escape, and one where he's got his heart out of his chest right there, Connery.
That was a very, very, very risky move there from Julian Janowski to try and gain those few extra points that could mean oh so much at the end of this series. But that's just how much he wants it, how much he wants those extra points, and how much he wants to win this championship.
Looking at the final corner, there is a car on its roof. It's Russell Laidler, the number 3 Souls machine, down at the final corner. Let's get a replay and see exactly how that has taken effect. And well, he's done it on his own accord. Has he into the right? He comes on. Oh no, he does. He taps the back of Minton and he goes for a roller coaster there, Connery. So Soul's car, pretty much a wrecked car right now, a broken Soul.
Yeah, and that could be pretty important when it comes to the team's championship. He was running quite well until that moment, so Soul's just suffering in the points a little bit from that retiree, but I don't think they'll be suffering as much as this will do right now.
Well, let's get ourselves then the final classified results from this one. It's Lewis Bibby who takes the win by 0.4 of a second over Adam Bath. Scott Malcolm coming home in 3rd. Lord Murray will finish in 4th position with Jamie Hall 5th. Julian Janowski from the back of the grid, storming run, takes a decisive lead here in 6th. Peter Van Gool comes home in 7th with Stuart McFadden 8th. Robert Plumley there in 9th with Alex Everett in 10th. Max Wright will finish 11th with Adam Hadfield 12th. And you got Adam McNally 13th, Paul Smith 14th, Diogo Melro will come home only 15th position overall, not what he wanted, with the likes of Kip Stevens, Stephen Minton, Stephen Baxter, Rusty Walsh in 19th position, having himself a pretty horrible time of things. You look at cars that are 1 lap down, the likes of Rusty Lader then, who flipped himself at the final corner, Cesare Rizzo, Jason Greenfield, Joel Martinson there is 5 laps down, then you got Gordon Anderson and Gareth Hickling as well. Well, it will be interview time once again, and it will be looking about who is going to be worthy of coming in for a driver interview at the moment. And well, You have to say it has been a pretty good race overall. You look at those drivers who are looking to try and take that 1 point here, that 1 point there, Connery, and you know what? They've done an incredible job in that second race to really get that battle, but one driver I do want to bring in, if I can, will be Apex Racing TV's Adam Barth himself. He's done a brilliant job. He's got himself up into what is second position overall, and we're going to bring him in now. Adam, thanks for joining us. It's the second time in 3 races that you're joining us, but a second place that was thoroughly well deserved, and you were so close to taking that race win, but Lewis Bibby managing to pip you to the post.
Yeah, it's better to be here in better circumstances, but yeah, that was very, very fun indeed. Yeah, great start. I don't know where it came from, but yeah, I found myself in the lead, and yeah, I think about an extra 2 laps, I might have just been able to have got past Lewis Bibby there.
Maybe that could have been possible, but for the opening few laps of the race, you had Roy Vervaeke there alongside, and talk us through about that incident that led to Roy Vervaeke turning himself around. You managed to get yourself about a second's lead at one stage, and then it all just started to fall away a little bit from there. So what exactly happened during the mid part of the race?
I think I prefer it with being in front. I think I haven't been practicing the track at all the last week. I just turned up, just got back on the train about half an hour before the qualifying session got underway, and yeah, I think I'm learning the track better. I've got a car in front to help, and once I took the lead, I was pretty helpless out there, so I think that's probably why I lost that 1 second gap. But yeah, I enjoyed the battle with Roy as well. It got a bit close at one point during the race, but yeah, I'm gradually learning the track. Hopefully I'll know a bit more about it by race 3.
Hopefully we'll learn about it more in race 3 indeed. And of course, we're just going to step away from the World Series a little bit and talk about Apex Racing TV as a whole. Of course, you had yourself the Road Pro Series that went on, round 5 at Circuit of the Americas. Bono Huis taking the victory there. For anyone aspiring to be a commentator, and it's, you know, sometimes it's difficult to get into an industry like this, you know, what do you recommend for people who are willing to try and get themselves into a craft which is, you know, quite difficult to learn as this?
I think just call it as you see it. I think that's the main thing, really. Just talk about what you see on screen and not to get too many people angry at all. And yeah, I think commentating on a series such as this, such as the BSR TC Pro Series on Thursday, is a brilliant way of getting to do something like that, and it transfers over well, I should say, to the Road Pro Series, which we're covering at the moment. No race next week, of course. We'll be back in 2 weeks at Monza.
Yes, certainly will. And now Samuli standing by with the spinny wheel. We're going to spin it, Adam, and we're going to see where you're going to grid up.
I know, yeah, I was very nearly on pole in race 1 for the reverse grid there.
And we're going to see what that spin is. Waiting for the result. 18 is the number. What a crucial number that is. Rusty Walsh, third in the championship, does not get the reverse grid that he duly wanted. So, for you, starting 17th on the grid, got to be pleased with that, surely.
Yeah, just try and keep it clean for race 3. Managed to curb my enthusiasm from last week at Summit Point, so hopefully another finish.
Hopefully another finish indeed. Adam Barth then, second place as the independent number 16 machine. But for the final time tonight, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, round 33 will be underway. The final stop before the season finale at week 13 at Daytona Road. Don't go away.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Well, for the final time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kia World Series here. The MSA World Series here with the BSR at Donington Park. This is the round of 33, or the 33rd round of the championship right now. Just 4 to go, 3 to go next week in week 13 at Daytona Road. We're here live on iRacing Live at Apex Racing TV. Jake Sparey and Connery Maddick in the commentary box right now. And well, there's a reason why I use MSA. We're officially recognised by the British Motorsports Association. You run their rules, you have a great time, and you create fantastic racing like we have seen all throughout the season. You can never write the script in the World Series, I will say that for a fact. But what you can do with this series is say this is the only route to the Pro Series, which starts again on the Thursday night back in March. This will be, this World Series, the only Kia series this winter from January up to March. So you have to come here first. For the moment, it's £3 a meeting. It's £15 even as a team driver, and as an independent driver, it's £20 for a full season. Join us on Facebook, link down below. And you also, if you are brand new to iRacing and you want to get on in this action, and you want to race series like this, or any car that you have seen on any iRacing broadcast, join today. 3 months of the price of one with promotional code PR-BSRTC, and also €30 off of any JCL Sim Racing product to be faster with the promotional code 5VATA1KA. Connery, you can never write the script in the Kia World Series. Janowski opens his lead to 19 points. But 19 points in this series, we have seen time and time again, it's not enough at times. You have to, you absolutely have to find a margin here or there.
Yes, you do, and you have to get inside the head of Walsh and Melrose right now. They have to be thinking Janowski is very, very strong here. He has to have an absolute shocker of the race, especially for Walsh to try and get back into this championship fight, since he is dropping off race by race right now. He needs a very good race for this race 3, and Janowski to have problems.
Yeah, and you have to remember he's on the wrong side of the reverse grid, so what has to be said right now, Rusty Walsh is going to be there or thereabouts with Julian Janowski. He's now fallen outside of 50 points. He's 51 points back. That's an entire race win. Walsh can't lead the championship heading to Daytona. That's a crucial point to point out. If anyone's going to do it, Melrose going to lead going to Daytona. Janowski holds 19 points on him, on 999 exactly. For the team's championship, Souls are moving forward. They now have a 47-point lead over the Thistledew team. It has opened up a margin, and it is one that might be a safe buffer as they head to Daytona Road. Practice is over. The grid, in just about 8 seconds' time, will look like this. So it will be Stephen Baxter on pole position, Stephen Minson in second, with Kip Stevens third, and Diogo Melrose, championship contender, in fourth. Then you got Paul Smith and Adam McNally, Adam Hadfield and Max Wright, Robert Plumley and Stuart McFadden, with Peter Van Gool and Julian Janowski. Then you got Jamie Hall and Law Murray, Scott Malcolm and Adam Barth, Lewis Bibby and Rusty Walsh. Then you got Craig McLeod-Evans and Lyndon Swaby, Roy Viveka, Sven Glatzel, Russell Laidler, Cesare Rizzo, Jason Greenfield, Gordon Anderson and Gareth Hickling. We are down to just 27 drivers for the final race of the evening. Tempers have been flaring. We've lost 3 drivers from the opening start of the night to the very end of it, and well, there is still going to be potentially another twist in the tail. There may be people looking to try and get themselves up to the top of the top to make themselves the best that they can be. Engine notes for the final time tonight. They go up into the air, and we're gonna go green, and we're gonna get underway. Baxter off to a good start, Minton not as good, and that's gonna allow Kip Stevens in. Paul Smith gets off to a good one. Melrose gonna lose the position to him, that's crucial. But around the outside, you can see boxed in there was Paul Smith. A little bit of contact with Hadfield, and that's Janowski, is it going straight on there? And a little bit of contact there in the middle of the pack. So everyone else started to get through. It was Robert Plumley. Oh, incredibly close to Janowski there. Was Minton, a lifeline used, and you can see Diogo Mara now in a scrap with Adam Hadfield. There doesn't want to. Big slide through towards the old hairpin. It's all kicking off already.
Oh, there's Adam Walsh. Adam Walsh down towards the old hairpin. That is contact with Scott Malcolm. They are into the gravel, and that is not doing any good for Adam Walsh's championship. Hopes he'll have to rejoin the track right here very, very carefully. Try and not collect any more incidents, but Adam Walsh has had an absolute shocker of an evening.
And now the Cesare Rizzo Cup is put into doubt here. Now you have to say there is going to be problems here and there. Greenfield is also off the circuit, but now his championship, it now fades from the eyes. It now starts to go away, and now there's going to be a few more questions to be asked. Side by side, Adam Hadfield, through goes Stuart McFadden, young Stuart McFadden then in this battle going on, but Baxter is clear at the moment. Side by side, Stevens and Smith for second position right now as they head down towards Redgate Corner, turn number 1. Already, everything kicking off.
Everything is indeed kicking off right here, and look at that, Diogo Mero currently in that 4th position right here. He didn't have the greatest of race 2, but he's doing very, very well so far in this one, as we just see Paul Smith get very, very close to the back of Kip Stevens right there. Where is Julian Janowski? He is right there behind the car of Adam McNally. He'll make this try and make this pass complete on the inside. Whoa, there's a very, very slow car on the inside there. That was Stuart McFadden. Something has happened to him. Julian Janowski will try and get this pass complete on the outside of Adam McNally. Look behind them though, it is Max Wright. He goes off and into the dirt, and Janowski's still taking it too wide through Coppice Corner.
Yeah, and you can see he has to back out of it now, and that's going to allow the car of Lewis Bibby to come back in. A slowdown penalty for Stuart McFadden. Had to serve it, and now you can see he moves to the inside of McNally. McNally's got nothing on him, and you got to say Lewis Bibby will look down to the inside as well. Down on the brakes, he just taps the brakes earlier there. Does the driver of Lewis Bibby, and Janowski goes through. He now looks for a way past McNally. A little bit of contact between the two of them. That's going to allow the car of Max Wright then to go through. Slowdown penalty for Lewis Bibby. He'll drop through the field. Janowski now has clean air. Out comes Jamie Hall. Side by side, they're going to go for second, and now Diogo Maro's trying to break through, trying to go 3 wide, no, trying to find a way past the widest car in the grid of Kip Stevens, and you can see the wily old fox getting himself going through, and for the moment, Linus Stern is only helping Janowski.
And here comes Diogo Mero trying to have a look down the inside at the old hairpin. Kip Stevens managed to defend that position, but yes, as you say, there's Julian Janowski. He is going to be coming up on this pack very, very shortly. So Diogo Mero has to be watching in his mirrors right now as he tries again on the outside of Kip Stevens. Not working this time by, or is it? He will take it side by side through Coppice Corner. Kip Stevens defending very well, just squeezing him towards the outside of the track. Diogo Mero trying to get the cut back and trying to get a run out of the Coppice Corner and try and get it done on the brakes down into Goodhart's.
The difference, Stevens has nothing to fight for but his position. Melrose got to fight for the championship. He goes incredibly late on the brakes and he takes the position very comfortably. What this has done is open the gap to Paul Smith and considerably close the gap to the driver of Julian Janowski. This one has come right down to it, and again, having to go defensive into turn 1 is Diogo Mero. He's going to hold it in 3rd position for the moment. Baxter lead, Smith 2nd, Melrose 3rd, Stevens 4th, Janowski 5th. Battle for 7th going on. Laidler is there with Adam McNally, and he's got his way through, and you can see 2 wide then Glassell and Bath side by side down the credit curves.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic racing as Sven Glassell just pushes wide, had to pull out of that move coming down the Craner curves, down through the old hairpin right now. Single file stuff right now, but here comes Julian Janowski. He is right on the back of Kip Stevens right now. Kip Stevens is right on the back of Diogo Mero as well, so we might see a battle between 2 of your championship contenders shortly.
We could see it. Catching is one thing, the taking is another, and Melrose will want to keep Janowski behind him to gain any sort of an advantage. The difference between 3rd and 4th is 2 points as things stand, and he wants to make sure that he has 2 points so that he can close Janowski down at Daytona Road to make that gap a little bit more surmountable. To the outside goes Kip Stevens, and you know what? I think he's going to let the position go. He's got nothing to fight for with Janowski, and he wants to keep himself out of the title fight, so he lets the position go through. Janowski up into 4th position right now as things stand. Side by side, Laidler on Glassell as they head down in towards turn number 1, and behind that, Plumley there with Vervaker, and you look even further behind that, Lewis Bibby and Stuart McFadden, all kicking off. 8 cars, throw a blanket over them, Connery.
Yeah, as they come down through the Cana curves, that Robert Plumley will defend the position from Roy Vervaker. There's a little bit contact behind Stephen Minton, pushes wide down into the gravel, manages to save the car, but he loses an absolute ton of position. We'll have to look back and see what happened there. It was contact from Lewis Bibby. Lewis Bibby just basically punted them towards the outside of the corner. And now he's fighting with Stuart McFadden.
Yeah, he certainly is, and that is time that has gone away for him. And you can see Laidler and Glatzel, though, they're still going to go at it. Glatzel looking at that Ches Rizzo Cup.
Oh, Lewis Bibby and McFadden. McFadden around.
Oh, no, you got to be kidding me. That's a Coppice corner, and you can see they were getting close, and there was nowhere that McFadden could go. That's the traditional quarter panel. He's still waiting to get himself back on circuit. Finally he does, and that his position's very heavily lost in that situation. You still look, though, Plumley and Laidler are going to go side by side. You can see Glatzel has held the position in that respect, but you look further through the field and you can see the front three are closing in on each other. Paul Smith all over the back of the old hairpin. Can't do it for the moment.
Not for the moment, but he'll get the cut back on the old hairpin here. We'll have to try and hang it around the outside here, so he'll have the inside for McLean's corner. Look behind though, Diogo Melro is also looking for the position as well, just sticks it down the inside. There he goes, Stephen Baxter loses 2 positions. Diogo Melro and Paul Smith up 1.
And you can see Melro now going for the race lead down the inside of Coppice corner. Across the circuit he goes. And I think he takes it. No, it's a slow down penalty. He has to slow it down. 3 wide, they're going to go through the middle. Goes Julian Janowski to the grass, goes Baxter. And how have they all survived from that? That had the potential to end in tears, and it doesn't. And Melro goes from looking at the lead to looking at 4th. Janowski now up into 2nd. More contact with Melro, and also Stephen Baxter. Oh, that was heart in mouth. But Janowski's championship takes a vital boost as he makes it easily past Melro.
How has Julian Zanowski just done that? There was absolutely no space down the middle of those 2 cars, yet he made it work. As we see Baxter and Kip Stevens, they are going to take it 2 wide down through the crane of curves, down into the entry, into the old hairpin. Here, Kip Stevens is defending the position very, very well. But wow, Julian Janowski, take a bow.
Take a bow indeed, and you can see, though, further down your pack, Glatzel under threat. McNally goes wide. They're going to try and go 3 wide. No, they can't. And you can see as they head to McLean's, you can look at Russell Laidler looking for a position. Look at the Cesare Rizzo Cup. That's going to come down to the inside. Tries Glatzel. No, can't do it. Not close enough then. And you look at this front of your train once again. Melrose in 3rd, but he's got to do some work here to get to Julian Janowski. He's got to rely on Paul Smith here, the independent driver, to try and back up Janowski into him if he's going to get any points out of it. Janowski, as things stand, opens the gap to 22 points as they head to Daytona Road. And from there, you're hoping for a bit of misfortune if you want to take the title, Connery.
Yes, you are, as we see some battling between Adam McNally, Russell Laidler and Robert Plumley. They're going to take it 3 wide coming across the start-finish line, coming down on the entry into red gear. I believe Russell Laidler will lose out on those positions, but Adam McNally and Robert Plumley still taking it 2 wide. Look behind, there's also Roy Ververke there as well. Plumley and McNally still 2 wide coming through Hollywood.
Yes, they are, and now to the crane of curves. They're going to come along. Inside line for Robert Plumley. Turns to the outside at the old hairpin. Down on the brakes they go. McNally's position is his, but the cut back then as they head towards McLean's, and he's going to give him no room at all as he just sweeps around the outside and says, thank you very much, position's mine. Vervaeke will look to do the same then as they head up towards McLean's. Down on the brakes they go. Up the hill into the right-hander, up over the crest, and they're going to remain side by side then for Coppice corner right now. And you can see Laidler wants a piece of the action as well. They want to take points away from Thistledew, and even more points will Thistledew nicely for them. At the front though, you can see caught is Paul Smith. There is Julian Janowski, and there is the run out of the corner for the race lead. It's Julian Janowski who is coming up trumps right now and is looking for the royal flush. Side by side, let's go into Redgate corner. On the brakes goes Paul Smith, and round the outside, thank you very much. Position almost his. Position his.
A brilliant pass there from Julian Janowski. He will take the race lead here in race 3. Diogo Mero is still trying to catch these 2 leading cars, and he will close up on the old hairpin. Here comes Paul Smith. Julian Janowski pushes wide onto the graph. This may give an opportunity. He defends the inside line. Does Julian Janowski just boxes in Paul Smith against Diogo Mero. Paul Smith have to defend the inside, and then the tap. There's Julian Janowski. Power slides it through the corner. Oh my god, and he loses a couple of positions there as well. He loses a position to Kip Stevens as well. That was heart in mouth moment for Julian Janowski.
And they're still side by side. Melro and Stevens then, and Janowski looking to make it 3 wide as they head to Goddard chicane. And it's all kicking off, and there's 5 minutes to go, and it's all or nothing for all these drivers involved. It's still Paul Smith out front, but that one could have ended a lot worse than it did. They all keep it together. It's allowed Baxter into the fight, but Paul Smith has it. Melrose second, Janowski in third. So they head to Redgate corner once again. You can see they're all trying to find a line. Randy outside, tried Diego Maro, opens the door though for Janowski down the inside. Couldn't afford to do that, and that's a bit of impatience then, and they're going to rub doors, the two championship contenders, as they head down the crater curve, as they head towards the old hairpin. There is contact between the two, and Janowski has to go on. There's more contact, and Melro off into the wall. His championship fades before his eyes, and that is the decisive moment that Union Janowski takes as they head to Daytona Road. Melro is out, Connery.
Absolutely huge championship implications right there, and there'll be some words spoken in the steward's office, no doubt, after that one. But Julian Janowski sitting very, very pretty right now. He has had a good day at Donington Park.
Oh, he certainly has. When you look at Rusty Walsh and where he is, he's 15th. As things stand like this, he will take over a race win amount of points. This is before penalties are applied, mind you. We could see a back grid and a disqualification from race 3 if points stay like this, and maybe it depends on how the stewards line it, if they think it's a racing incident, if they think it's Melrose fault, or if they think it's Janowski's fault. It's a difficult decision for the stewards, and you know what? It's one that could define an entire season here in this World Series. I said never write the script, because that has changed absolutely everything as things stands right now. Walsh in 13th, and he's past his teammate of Gordon Anderson, Connery.
Yes, he is, and it would be a shame if this championship had to be decided on a steward's decision, but that's the way it is sometimes. I'm just watching the battle between Adam McNally and Russell Laidler. Russell Laidler trying to gain vital points for the Souls team right here. He will try it around the outside. There's a slow car in front of him. That is of Lewis, baby. He's been having some issues, but Russell Laidler through unscathed.
Yes, he is, and you can see Walsh has to hit the brakes. His championship, he's starting to think of that. McNally is there as well, as they're going to look to go 3 wide. No, they're not. They're going to go single file for the moment then, as they head to Coppice corner. No, not going to happen. Ideally, not a place to make the move, but at the front of your field right now, it is Paul Smith at the moment. Janowski there in second, Stevens third, Baxter there in fourth, Max Wright in fifth. Then you got Bath versus Glatzel. Glatzel slow down penalty. That's going to allow Plumley through. Now remember, top 2 score in the constructors. So at the moment, Layla's position means absolutely nothing. But for Walsh, he's got to pass McNally, and he's got to pass Lewis Bibby if he wants anything respectable out of this event here, Connery.
Yes, he does, as we see Lewis Bibby and Adam McNally go 2 wide. A little bit of contact on the apex of the corner, just pushes Adam McNally wide. Here comes Adam Walsh down towards the inside of Hollywood on Adam McNally. They'll have to still take it 2 wide, down through the Cana curves, down through the old hairpin now on the brakes, but Adam Walsh will have the position.
He's up into 12th now, and he needs to find some points. He needs to find a little bit more than he does. He's got to close that gap. If Janowski does get disqualified from this race, he'll score no points. Melro is gone. He's not going any further. He will stay on 980. Janowski's lowest points he can get then is 999. He'll stay with that 19-point gap as he looks to challenge for the race lead to just authoritize the 50 points that he needs to get here, as they're going to go with just a handful of minutes to go here in this race. With just 1 more lap to go, he will look to go around the outside of Paul Smith, and no, it won't happen just yet. No, has to fall back into line. If he does get disqualified, it's his 3rd back of grid. It will mean that he'll have to have a pit start at Daytona Road Race 1. That's going to be crucial, and it will mean he'll be towards the back for Race 2. It means he might have to rely on luck in Race 3. That could be the situation, but again, he's all over the back of Paul Smith, looking for his 2nd win. Janowski looking for 2 this meeting, and his 9th of the season. You can see as they go line astern into McLean. He tries to open up the corner here. Does Julian Janowski to get the better run out of it towards Coppice. Sacrifices about 2/10 of time, and Paul Smith holds on to it for the moment. Into Coppice. He just stays calm. He stays cool. He stays collected. And now just the chicane of Goddard's to go. Hold your nerve. Janowski could go for the race win. He's there. He's close. He's closing in the slipstream. But is he close enough? No, he's not. He hits the brakes. He gets sideways, but he holds on to it. And Paul Smith will hold on for it for a race win of the highest caliber here in the World Series. Janowski takes 2nd, but there's a lot of talking after this race about the incident with his title rival Melro. Don't write the script. The script's still not written. 1 week's time, Daytona Road. these fireworks, they're going off again, Connery.
Yes, they will, as you just see some of your final runners coming across the line. Adam Walsh did not manage to get that pass done on Lewis Bibby. It was very, very close in the end, but Lewis Bibby managed to get it. But wow, what a race free that we've just had.
Absolutely magnificent as the final car will come across the line on the leading lap. That will be Adam Hadfield, and this is the final results from round 33 of this BSR World Series. Paul Smith will take the win by just 0.6 of a second over Julian Janowski, who has had the weekend of dreams here in the World Series at Donington Park. Kip Stevens will come home in third with Stephen Baxter in fourth. And then you got Max Rice in fifth. Adam Barth, a great race from him up to sixth position, unsung hero. Robert Plumley there in seventh with Sven Glatzel eighth. Roy Vervaker there in ninth. Russell Laidler rounds out the top 10. Lewis Bibby there in 11th with Rusty Walsh, only managing 12th for what has been a poor showing from third in the championship. Leader of the Ches Rizzo Cup, Adam McNally there in 13th with Gordon Anderson 14th and Lyndon Swaby 15th. You look further down, the likes of Stuart McFadden, Peter Van Gool, Gareth Hickling there down the order. Adam Hadfield last of the cars on the lead lap. Hall finishes 1 lap down, he'll score points. Minton 2 laps down, Melrose 4. If Melrose kept going, he might have scored something, but at the moment, he scores no points from that race, nor does Cesare Rizzo, nor does Craig McLeod Evans. And I might seem a little bit cruel, potentially, by doing what I am doing right now. I'm going to drag in Diogo Melrose into the commentary box after an incident like that. Diogo, thank you for joining us. Not the result you would have wanted, a non-finish here so late in the season, and for you, contact with Janowski was never the result that you wanted.
I don't even check. I don't want to talk, really. I'm really pissed off by that.
Yeah, we're going to excuse the bad language there just for a moment. You can understand the frustrations that Diogo's had. For you, it was a case of, trying to find your feet. The second race didn't go your way. You didn't really make too many positions up through the field. Such a difficult circuit to make those overtakes. So come race 3, you have that opportunity. You're fighting up at the front. You see some opportunities. It gets incredibly close. You go for the race lead on Paul Smith. And somehow, you survive 3 wide heading towards Goddard's chicane.
Yeah, sorry about the language there. I totally forgot. Yeah, I got a slowdown. I think it was on race 2. Many cars did on the first lap. Tried to serve it. They went down to 0, but then it went back again to 3 seconds. I stood at the back for that race, and yeah, that 3 wide was a lot of action. I need to try and score the most points I can, but yeah, it went all down to that incident.
Yeah, it did, and well, that final incident, it means that Daytona Road might be a difficult proving ground. It might come down to a steward's decision for you. Is that a decision that you're thinking maybe appeal and hope for the best, and maybe something goes your way for that? Or is it a case of, you got to hold your head high, move on, and it might just be second again for the 3rd consecutive season in the World Series?
Let's see, I don't know. My view on that incident, I think he didn't give me enough space on going left. I made him spin because of that, and he was trying to control the car and came back across me, pushed me off. But I don't know. Let the stewards do their job, and so yeah.
You let the stewards do their job. That is the big talking point. Connery, I'm going to let you stand by with Stuart McFadden. He's waiting for an interview. Just be very quick with that. We've got not much time left.
Yes, hello Stuart. You started in 10th and ended up, when all is said and done, in 16th place. So that wasn't the greatest of races out there.
No, it wasn't. I don't know what happened in that last one. I think it was just a wee bit of bad luck. But looked at the positives. We've done 2 great races, scored some good points, so I can't really be too happy with my night.
Yes, and those good points will be important in your fight for around about 6th in the championship with Alex Everett. Alex Everett hasn't really had the best of days here, so you look to have maybe have passed him in the championship points if we can get confirmation of that after the race. So a good weekend, and looking forward to Daytona.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Daytona. Daytona's a good track for overtaking, so hopefully we can have a repeat of this. We can have some good results.
hopefully. And how about you wrap this up, Jake?
Well, 1 week's time, you have to tune in. It's all going to come down to 3 more races. Week 13, arguably the jewel in the Week 13 highlight calendar, the jewel in the crown, and we're going to have a champion looking to come in. We are going to be looking to crown what is one final race. We have, though, very quickly, though, before we go, we are going to try and drag in Paul Smith for one very, very quick final interview. Paul, a race win, a well-deserved race win, a very hard-fought race win.
Yeah, not bad to say it's going to be my last race of this season, so yeah, what a way to go out on the race win. Had to fight hard, and credit to Julian for putting in a fantastic move on me earlier on, but managed to just sneak past and get the win.
You see in the mirror behind you, you see the championship rivals coming together, you see Melrose go off, you see Janowski survive. You know, put that into perspective, that could have been you. You know, how brilliant is it for you to know that you've got 2 wins in a short space of time, and maybe if you had more time, would you think about maybe challenging for a title in this series?
You never say never, but I must say that when that instant happened, I could see it coming between those two, and I nearly went off laughing myself. So, but I don't care. I won the race. You know, I'll see if I have the time. I'll possibly be about for next season. Depends, sir.
It does depend. He'll go off laughing and he'll take his win to the bank and end his season there. But 1 week's time, Daytona Road. Have to tune in for the championship finale. Big thank you to Connery Maddick, to Samuli Kumo behind the cameras, and to all the drivers, and to some fantastic racing at Donington Park. For all of you watching at home, I've been Jake Sparey, and that was absolutely sensational racing. It might come down to the steward's office to see if it gets even tighter than this. But oh boy, you're in for a treat when Daytona comes calling in Florida. Good night.